Welcome back to Limbus Company, Weekly Mirror Dungeon. To this time, we've got a new ID to try and make a little bit use of. I haven't used him at all yet. It's Middle Sinclair. Of course, this is the Werner ID, basically. And yeah, I mean, it's middle stuff. He's got 2 envy skills. First sinner we've gotten that has 2 skills of the same sand affinity in a while. That's quite funny. And of course, his counter changes based on absolute resonance, so that at 4 plus abs res, it becomes skill 2, and at 6 plus, it becomes skill 3, up to 2 times a turn. And also gives him percentage of his missing HP to shield, so it just works fairly well. We'll see how it goes. There's definitely a decent bit of random, like, middle stuff in the game, so we can definitely make use of that. We don't really care what floors we go to. Do we go for that? Maybe. We'll probably go bleed, right? Makes enough sense, I'd say. Maybe something like that. We could. Do we want levels or like skill or something, or do we want more random stuff? We could do like this. I don't need that then, though, yeah. Yeah, sure. Going for something a bit random. Unfortunately, I don't have max rest bonus this time around. Because, unfortunately, my Queecliff wasn't quite max, but everyone else was max. But we had to use Queecliff, of course. It's an envy team. He's like he's part of the gang. Hard mode, yep, nice. And anything particularly noteworthy? They're not really. I'll roll. I'll gamble a little bit. I mean, muzzle's important. Yeah, sure. And we can grab smoke and wires here, so that's good. I believe we need cutting knife, blood sack, and then, what, like the nail for the hard fusion gift? I think it's something like that. You've got a sinking ego gift. No thanks. I don't know if we can pass this without sanity. Okay, we definitely can. Oh, this one's fine. Not too bad. We'll use you, sure. Bunch of SP loss, that's fine. Probably for a decent chunk of our units, because, you know, we're all about that envy. So our other team's gonna go, we'll do like this. And that'll work. As far as, like, backup goes, we just have some random units, right? In case things go really poorly. None of the backups are particularly what we're looking for an envy team, so hopefully that doesn't come into play. It might always, you know, especially with, like, middle Merso just kind of being there. Look at them. So wholesome. They're all just chilling there. Yeah, you've got some funny gimmicks going, because you've got your own, like, Book of Vengeance stacks. You inflict, like, a special type of Book of Vengeance. You have Vendetta Mark, which becomes... which is converted into Book of Vengeance on yourself. Simple enough. Just kind of means you want to get hit a bit. First and foremost, though, we need to get our sanity up, so we're not going to worry about counter stuff for, like, the first fight, right? Because you really would prefer to be high sanity before you bother with that. Everyone except for Rodion is already a little bit low. Oh, and Faust, right? She's got a less skill one. Thanks to the fact that, thanks to the My Form Empties check that reduces SP by 10 for everyone that doesn't have a Lust skill. But that's fine. We'll just get our sanity up. And we'll try seeing what we can do. We'll be going for the Nocturnal sweeping floor because there is a middle fusion gift there. So we want to get that. We want to make sure we get the Blunt Tier 4 Book of Vengeance as well, since that's also a middle gift. You know, simple enough stuff. Well, we make sure we get Moon Claire to ++, because the thing about this Envy team is it's done in such a way where we can definitely make use of Bleed, because 5 out of 6 of the people are Bleed. I could have, like, started with the... I could have just started with, like, Blunt Ego Gifts if I wanted to, but I didn't think that would be necessary. We'll get the Tier 4 anyways, and that's the only one that really matters for normal Blunt Gifts. Nice. Alright, cool. We love sanity. Our sanity's going up, like, over time decently thanks to middle Merso's funny gimmick about giving sanity. That's helpful. Because it's, yeah, if there's no starting from middle on this unit in the starting line from middle with least SP heal 6 SP at every turn end, it'll just help out a little bit, right? Help our middle units make sure their SP stays nice and good and just gets them up faster. I do like the code is very funny. I like how he looks a lot more purple than the others, right? Like, these two IDs, despite being middle, like, the purple is all hidden behind their arms and chains and stuff, that they really don't look that purple from far away. Admittedly, Sinclair still doesn't look primarily purple, but there's still a lot more purple. Not that, like, Envy necessarily needs a color code, but, like, the middle's big thing is that they're purple. So it's kind of weird how it's a bit harder to see the purple on the units. I didn't change my announcers. I assume announcers got messed up a little bit by the April Fool's event or something. Because I definitely did not manually select Virgilius, I don't think. So I assume when the April Fool's event goes on, it, like, defaulted your announcers to Virgilius and then changed the lines instead of just doing it like a normal way. PM moment after all. Unfortunately, I don't have the Ricardo announcer, so I can't commit to that bit. You're gonna say that a lot because of these, huh? The Virgilius... Oh no, I did have just Virgilius selected. What am I saying? I don't know why I think I didn't. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I did just have Virgilius selected. It's been a while. Yeah, let's see. We could try messing with announcers a little bit, something weird. Someone who yaps a bunch. No Ricardo, though, so we can't maximize funnies. Ricardo announcer will show up, like, sooner or later, right? That's just kind of how announcers are. Like, you can't shard them or anything, so you just gotta get lucky. They're not really something worth, like, worrying about much at all. Butterflies, how nice. Heathcliff skill change, absolutely. We will take another Sever Knot. Iron Stake. Do we need that? I don't know if we do need that, thinking about it. Arrested Him, I know we need that. We need that for the normal fusion gift. Okay, where's the shot? I need to get Wind Clear to ++, that's right. Forgot entirely about that. We don't need Emerald Lytra. It's nice, admittedly. I could actually just give her to Scarlet Moss instead. I like this one, but I mean, it does sell for a decent chunk, so might as well. Get Wind Clear to ++. Yeah, looking cool. Looking good. And we're getting muzzle for clearing this floor, right? If I'm not mistaken. And so that means, that means we'll only be missing the, Malarca in order to make the normal fusion gift. Which means that's pretty doable second, third floor. So that's nice. We just keep on doing the bleed stuff, stockpile a decent bit of like tier 3s, tier 2s on like the side as well, so I can fuse them all away in order to get the Book of Vengeance. And should work well. I'm definitely curious to see how well this team will work for sweepers, because like, it really does not seem like a team that's going to be very good for sweepers. That's for sure. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Who knows? Ever not? Not gonna worry too much about Envy Res antics for these guys. That's for sure. Do we go Hell's Chick? Did we see it floor 2? Probably, right? Because that's usually a bunch of tier 3s just kind of for free, which could mean we could potentially get second floor Book of Vengeance if we get like the good events. That'll probably be worthwhile. I'll see if there's anything else like more appealing, but if Hell's Chicken is there on like the first like even before I refresh, I'll probably just go for it. I know I go for it a lot, but like it's just so good. Second floor option that just gives you several like free tier 3s is crazy. Gamble? Darn. I love gambling. Alright, two things. A lowest star, yeah, I mean, it's blunt, right? It works. Nothing we want there. Give it a roll. That's just Malarka. Okay, cool. Well, we get that, then floor 3 we'll be able to get Fusion Gift. Oh, double events? Double up. We should go fourth. Dawn, you got this. You just need 2 heads. That's what I get for sending some with a non-favor to send Affinity. Oh well. We really did not need Ashes to Ashes, so I'm not too concerned. It doesn't matter what we choose. Cool. I feel like they should add more, like, really rare, but, like, fairly meaningless things to the game and for Mirror Dungeon, right? I mean, like, Lunar Memory rarity, but it doesn't do anything. Imagine, like, if you could get, like, shiny enemies or something, right? Like, oh, there's, like, a 1 in, like, 2,000 chance each enemy could be, like, slightly tinted, like, red or something. I think that would be awesome, honestly. It would be, like, the most meaningless thing ever, but I feel like the meaninglessness would add so much to it, right? Who knows? Meaninglessness is just really funny. We're gonna need to get used to you having 2 envy skills, too. Quite zany. Yeah, I'm not fully sure what, like, the smartest way to play Sinclair is going to be. I think the one thing about the Sweeper event is, because it's, like, a longer fight, we definitely have enough time to build up his Book of Vengeance stacks. And then, like, kill people, right? And that's the general idea. I think everyone on this team has an Envy Ego equipped, so if we can get some things to give Ego resources early on, that also would be a smart move. Just to make sure we can spam Egos for the Envy Res if need be. Because not everyone has Envy defensive skills, right? Notably, neither of you two have any defensive skills, so you're kind of reliant on Hex Nail / Body Sack in case there's unlucky duckies going on. Cool. That's not full res, but I don't think we need full res here. Actually, it was almost high enough res to trigger Middle Merso's funny conditionals on his skill 3. His Wrath skill that wants 6+ Envy Absolute Resonance. Because funny. The funny. Unbreakable Claims in general, probably very nice for the middle's gimmick. Yeah, give me a hit, win the clash, but still get hit a little bit so they get inflicted with the Mark of Vengeance and the Vendetta mark. From Sinclair. Just so, you know, you can pop that nice and easy. Is it you? Cool. Well, that's that floor dealt with. Shame wasn't health checking for this random tier 3s, but I mean, we are gonna get Milarka immediately. Bloody Mist floor 3. Works pretty well. Reissue skill change? Nope. Otis skill change, also solid. No. Brodion skill change, I'll do that. Might as well. Do we want to enhance some stuff? Maybe, actually. Spend a little bit more cost. Also, if we could definitely... Oh, yeah, right. Elytra. That's a funny one to enhance. 54% Super Shop chance. Not great, really. I'll take that for the bit. Why not? 60% Super Shop. Not great. I really mostly want the Super Shop chances just so I get more skill changes. Because that's, like, what you really want to go for an Envy team. Probably means Envy's, like, somewhat funny to go to floor 10 with, but at the same time, like, you're going to die. So I'm not fully sure on that one. We get good Envy Res this turn immediately. We'll have to Electric Screaming, but that's fine. Erase the self and all affected allies. Cool. That'll work well. We can actually make that hit both if we do this right. You counter. Oh, you can counter that. That's good. You do that, and then everyone else is gonna hit this part, I think. For the funny. Actually, who gets hit by this? It's still Faust, right? One self and one eye of the least max HP, right? I assume that's Faust. 180, yeah. I don't think any of these guys are anywhere near that. Yeah, because they're all tanky. Okay. Just figured I'd check to make sure. I was fairly certain he'd be fairly bulky just because that's how middle IDs are built, because they need to be able to take a hit. That's good. Do we want to actually have you... Oh, yeah, you can have you pop that. Could we... probably not, actually. I was gonna do it, but then I figured, like, because of counters being weird for speed, that part's probably gonna be broken by then. Which means we could do it on, like, the main body instead, but... it's not too worrying, I don't think. Sever not, stacking that bleed. How quaint. Electric Screaming. Does this give charge to allies at all? I don't think it does. I think it's self-charge, but that's it. Electric Screaming egos are still very weird overall, right? It's like envy charge stuff on units that, like, have envy stuff, have charge stuff, but, like, they don't really have envy charge, like, hybrid ID stuff going on. I mean, you could say that for, like, for Warped On, of course, like, since envy skill 3, but I don't know. It's just weird. Okay, we should just be able to one-side you and kill you, yeah. Good turn, though. Good damage turn, that's for sure. Do a little murderage. For funsies. Just a wee bit of funsies. Ain't that right? Cool. Only need to use up half our skills, which is roughly to be expected. 400 HP. Not really a lot. Especially when the body part's staggered. Random video gift, I'll take that. Thunder Branch, that's good for fusion fodder. We'll just grab... Oh, I should just grab Carmela, yeah. That makes the most sense. Get both of those at the same time. Pretty funny. Pierce Tier 4, huh. An interesting... A novel concept, right? Maybe I should have gone for it. Actually, Bleed Floor is just going to be really good for us in general, yeah. Because we'll get some more Bleed event stuff. Get whatever we're missing, probably. Hopefully get Ruptured Bloodsack in the shop or something. It's possible. We'll take this fight first, and then we'll see what the future entails. Decide whether or not we go for the middle path or bottom path. What a weird fight this is. I've definitely seen it before, but it doesn't make it any more normal. Blunt Envy is actually pretty solid on UA. Can't get like a real big resonance, can we? Maybe we wait on it then. Yeah, we actually can pretty easily wait on that. Make use of it next turn instead, perhaps. You clash that one. You clash that one. Okay, cool. Should be good damage to a bunch of them. Preceding Inquisitor, unfortunately, will still take it fairly well. Thanks to, protection, thanks to having high instincts first turn. That's no worries. You resist lust. Everything here resists lust, though, so, I mean, your skill 3 wasn't going to be super good no matter what we did with it. Nice. Did we kill the bottom one? What were we doubling up the bottom one with? Dawn's skill 1. That doesn't kill, does it? Definitely not, no. But that's fine. I think this is a turn where we just kill enemies and don't worry about envy resing. Save that for, like, next wave, perhaps? Something like that. I feel like that makes enough sense. Actually, you can probably get a payback with just off since you're getting that skill next turn. Okay, yeah, sure. I think I'm missful. You can actually pop that here. Yeah. That's good. I don't think we're going to be killing too many things here. Bottom one should die at least. And top right should die, but I don't think Inquisitor dies. I feel like we went for some pretty weak attacks on it. But that's fine. Nice. Oh, we so could have killed that guy. That's 6 HP. That's unfortunate. Well, that's fine. We end yours this turn. We'll just hit you with, like, the Fanning or Misfall or something. Yeah, we really can't actually afford to use any counters here anyways. Yeah. It just would not work. The enemy would die. Shame Tranquility is only hitting Heathcliff, but that's fine. That's how the targeting ends up sometimes. Indeed, forsooth, forsooth. Oh, that was quite foolish of you to do actions such as that, because now... Death. Okay, now just one enemy left. I assume it's another Lust, just logically. And then we should just be able to auto-damage it and it dies. Yeah. No worries whatsoever to this guy. It's just whale at it a bunch and it should just die this turn. Is it Pride Week? I think it might be. Just Vengeance does a lot of damage in that case. Is it? Cool. Gaming. Doesn't really tell me a lot. I'll take this path though. Like, if it's a slash week... Oh, this is gonna be Oofy, isn't it? I think if it's a slash week lead encounter, or ring Oofy, I should say, which should be fine. Yeah. Why? Okay. It's ring Oofy, but specifically in like the Kurokumo battle background. Go off, I guess. Live your truths. Your ideals. Oh, that is unfortunate. They are beating up Faust brutally. They outskilled us, didn't they? Like, they got 7 skills this turn since the head guy starts with 2 skill slots. Did Faust get hit by a one-sided then and then just get staggered immediately? I think that's what happened. If so, not very cool. Okay, you're a meanie. I'd really rather if Faust didn't die, but at the same time, like... I mean, an ego, right? That's like the only solid option to do anything about that. Not even like that good of an option. I don't have a single back-targeting ego on this team, do I? Well, we just hope that you're fine, I think. Oh yeah, you're fine, cool. Sinclair got someone got an early kill or something, so one of Sinclair's skills went and saved Faust's life. Isn't that nice? What a band of friends these guys are. A merry band of comrades. How swell. How delightful. I'm not even worrying with the anti-res that much here. Maybe I gotta do a run where that's envy res only. That would be silly. Could be very silly. I've done bits like that before in the past. What's another time? I mean, the issue if you're trying to go for like a true like mono sin run where you only ever use one sin affinity, the big issue is like If for Envy, I couldn't, like, realistically get away with using Queecliff or Dulcinea Rodion for that purpose, because they don't have Envy defensive skills, right? And if I want to be safe, I wouldn't rely on Egos at all. Because that, could go poorly, especially if it's an only Envy team. I feel like this is probably a solid time to pop a Hexnail. Partially for the Envy res, partially just because a little bit of healing, is nice. Now, little Teddy, dance after me. Ta-da. Ooh, what a stylish guy. What a swagging fellow, as they say. And yeah, now Faust is not nearly as dead, so that's good. We're still, like... And we've still got at least, like, another fight, right? Since this elite encounter, then we're forced into a normal fight, and then assume the event node after that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this counter is getting used by Sinclair, but, like, also, like, it's a counter, they never get used. They're just a bit wonky in terms of the speed moment. If we had Faust, or not Faust, if we had Dawn counter, that actually would have worked really well there, because that would have hit that one guy, but oh well. There's 2 enemies left. I don't think it matters too much what goes on here. You are quite dead. Pierce resist? Sure thing, buddy. Let's get you to bed, Grandpa. Nice. Okay. Tier 1 Vestige. Oh, I'll take a random tier 2. I should have taken the cost, honestly. Yeah. Huh? Why is this floor 5 long? That's weird. Oh, well, we're gonna want to deal with you anyways, aren't we? Because we get Ruptured Blood Sac from you. Well then, this is a very long floor, since we're gonna be doing at least 4 fights, and then we'll have another node on top of that, assumably an event node there, but who knows, maybe it'll be another fight. This is a solid time to use some defensive skills. Probably, actually, because we're guaranteed to get these off since it's, like, evenly split. We don't have any mass attack stuff. Like, there's no way this doesn't end going the way we're expecting it to. Not a way in the slightest. And that guy's just dead instantly. Blunt, weak movement. Nice. Cool. We actually do it again, huh? Let's see how well some of this... Oh, that's still Tanea. Well, we can pop a Hexnail. We don't have a lot of Lust, admittedly. But it's funny to do this, so we will do it anyways. Just top people off, you know, with a little bit of healing. Not that it really matters because, you know, this is Mirror Dungeon 5, and, you know, HP gets fully healed every floor, so it's not really that big of an issue much at all. You can fairly, like, purposely throw and get away with it frequently. Write them all down. Cool. Not nice. Stop that. Oh, you fool, you're hitting Sinclair. Why are you hitting Sinclair? Why are you hitting Sinclair? Explode. And then just these guys left. Cool. So we can just... Let's pop the... I guess we need the last skill. We'll pop the skill 1 on you just solely for that point. I guess that is a strat, huh? In fights where we don't need the resonance, we could just pop your clashable counter just solely so we can get more lust going. Since that is definitely a bit of a weak point now. Even though 2 of our people do have lust skills, skill 1 and skill 3 respectively. That's really not too much when we're really focusing on going for the NVA. Oh yeah, and I guess we already did get rid of one of Faust's skill 1s, huh? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. All we've done so far is a Heathcliff skill 1 to skill 3 and a Rodion skill 1 to skill 2. Well, we'll fight you, of course, just because, like, how could we not? I think we'll be able to get both fusion gifts in this upcoming shop now. So that's nice. You are quite baby, so you shouldn't be an issue. Pop another hex nail. Yeah, go for it. We could actually pop your hex nail here, or really lean into the bit, perchance. This is going for right leg. Do we think we can get a counter off on right leg? I think so, actually. I don't think this'll stagger. Okay. We can hit you with this, then. Oh, no, you can't... you can't actually be countered, can you? Darn. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't think we can, then. But we can just pop, like, a bunch of strong stuff. We can counter the other parts, maybe. Counter pressing sec or something. That should work well. That part resists blunt. Little lame, but eh. We'll live. That hitting both those guys is pretty nice. And then we just can pop, like, the Sever Knot. And, like, Hex Nail like that. Okay, that'll work well. Should do some funny damage, I'm sure. Proted Hex Nail just to get that Envy Res, or Envy Frag, I mean to say. Envy Fragility. It's just nice. Make it so this part will take a bunch more damage this turn. Whenever Faust is max speed, and if she doesn't have a skill too, like, how could you not, right? And it only costs Envy, so it's not even bad for our, like, Sin resources whatsoever. Wowie. Wowie zowie, as they say. Okay, till the next one, that's fine. And we should be able to get both the funny counters off, right? Maybe the second one will stagger, and therefore it won't have to deal with, like, the blunt resistance? Maybe, we'll see. The buffoon you are, a little bit of bleed. Yeah, it's okay, it's not doing quite that much. This is actually some bleed, though, so, like, you'll take a bunch of damage just by attacking here. Okay, that did stagger, but since it staggered with the very final hit, we didn't actually get any mileage out of it. That's fine. Can you even counter anything? No. Well, you know, it's the thought that counts. You take the tail attack, yeah. Charge counter current. See, what would be the funniest? Which park off Vengeance Mark? Oh, the body did. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Well, we can't go all in on the body just because of how that works, but we could go, like, decently in on the body, perhaps. And then you could just do nothing. It's for the... We didn't even need the Envy, like, max res here, so... Oh god, your sanity's bad because of Hex Nail. Right, I should have had you clash. That's fine. Left leg staggered. Write them all down. Left leg down. We can probably just get away with one-siding you to death next turn. I do think... Although, do we want to do that? Probably, yeah. Oh, you're doing your funny blood attack. Not very nice, is that now? How's the bleed looking on the body? 75, that's quite a bit. Actually, we can just throw then. Yeah. By that, of course, I mean the fact that you're gonna bleed to death if you clash against this. Yeah, and didn't even do that much damage, all things considered. And down you go, cool. Well, that works. Ruptured blood sac time. This is like one of the longest floor 3s I think I've ever had. And I could make it longer by taking another fight, but I will pass. I don't have that Eogif yet, do I? Oh, no, I do. Okay, never mind. I was like, you're kidding me. You know, I could do it to get, like, the tier 2 vestige, but, like, as I said, I think we've done enough this floor already. This is only floor 3. Super shop, though, that's nice. House skill change. Cool. Merso skill change, I'll pass on that. Not too worried about that compared to some other skill changes. Do the bleed refresh, just see what else we need. Tangle Bundle, Rodion skill 2 is also good. Give her another one of those, just so she's got more of them, so we don't need to rely on Hexnail too much. Fusion time, though. I think we are set, right? We can fuse everything we need, because first off, Millarca and, Rested Him, we get Devotion. Devotion, pop that, we get Bloody Mist, cool. Oh right, I forgot, you don't actually get Ruptured Blood Sac from that. God. So because of the fact that Ruptured Blood Sac was added the second week of Mirror Dungeon 5, and the first week is when all, like, the Abno event fights were, they added Abno event fights for both, for, like, for Headless Ichthys and, like, Watchdog and stuff, but they technically didn't have Ego Gifts yet, so they just didn't have it. They didn't even add the... No, they added the events the second... No, they added the event second week, but they added the fight the first week, that's right. Yeah, okay. That completely slipped my mind. That is unfortunate. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. That works. Oh, I need the knife, don't I? I need another tier 3. That's right. Much as I like that stuff, we don't need it per se. That's a respite. Okay, we need another bleed tier 3. Let me just get a little bit of filler, perhaps. We do this, and we do this, and we do this. Cutting knife, cool. And it's cutting knife, this, and nail, I think? Yeah, cool. And we get the hemorrhagic shock. Alright, there we go. So we've got all the bleed stuff we need now, so we do not need to care about bleed, like, at all anymore. And we can go, I mean, I guess Gossipian would be nice for the bit, but that's also... Gossipian is really good in general for us, just because then we can actually get more damage out of our counters. I'll take Milebos, it'll pay for itself. Okay, we're chilling, cool. Oh. How quaint this is. Funny guy. The bear. Okay. Not really a great turn 1 abs res, I don't think. I say that though, but like, this is a good fight to do that bit on. We'll save it for turn 2, I think. Actually, one to be good festival one to get the, like, that buff going on, but I don't think that helps much at all. I might actually do it. Yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Live a little, right? Those two are clashing. Cool. So that's fine. Who are you going for? That? Alright, cool. Your Sandy's a bit dicey still, but that's fine. Alright, let's see how this goes. Funny Envy Abs Res turn. Decent bit of bleed already. Yeah, I guess bleed is a little bit unfortunate sometimes with, like, counter gaming because of the fact you're not actually clashing, but it really only makes a difference if you're losing clashes, I suppose. That's the only time, like, the bleed would proc more. Charge, counter current without any charge. Riveting stuff, I know I should probably get charge ego gifts. That would be pretty smart, thinking about it. Just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Body Sack Gaming. Okay, cool. And then I think this turn we can just attack you, Norm, actually. No, you're gonna get staggered. Yeah, you're getting staggered. I don't think that'll be worth it, especially when you factor in the bleed. Like, you're super staggered this turn. Who are you even targeting? Oh, Sinclair. That's not Sinclair. Close enough, that's a neutral. We'll ignore it then. You're getting staggered. Hemorrhagic shock means your bleed is going through even faster. And yeah, you're pretty dead. So far, it's kind of more of a bleed run than any run. I mean, I say that, but we're actually focusing on the envy. We've just got so much bleed stuff going on, and like, as far as envy synergy actually goes, there's actually some random weird envy synergy stuff, thinking about it, right? Because, like, Midwinter Nightmare and, like, Nixie Divergence, like, have their own, like, envy synergies for sinking and, or not Nixie, not Midwinter Nightmare, I mean, Sand Duty Battery. Skulls. Alright, gossip beams from this floor. Completely forgot about that. I will take the Zippo lighter, though, absolutely. It's still a point where we can make some good mileage out of that. Anything interesting? That is 2 tier 4s for Season of the Flame. Huh. If we get, I mean, actually, most of those bosses aren't exactly the most fun things to try and counter, but, could work fine. I'm not entering your haze. Everyone's gonna take wrath damage. How scary. And just some normal fights. It's blunt weak fights. It's the burn floor, so it's not even gonna be burn enemies. It's just random garbage, right? Yeah, it's bugs. Like the bunny. Do a bit of that, I think. That seems good. But yeah. Crazy how we've gotten a bunch of burn stuff recently with stuff like LCE Faust and like Liu Yisong and Firefist Greg and Sankey's Dawn and all of that, and we did not get a single enemy that uses burn, right? Like, we still do not have a single normal enemy that inflicts burn, which is just certainly something. Right. Like, there's several burn Abnos, and we've got, like, so many burn Egos, like, to match that. But, like, as far as burn normal enemies goes, nah. This floor is just still full of bugs and other random garbage, because there's no burn normal enemies. It's quite silly, really. God, you've got a lot of Finally Ground Mistfalls. There really should be a way to turn skill 3s into skill 2s. As stupid as it would be, I think there's definitely some situations where it would be really funny. Maybe make it so, like, you get cost for doing so, right? Like, you turn skill 3 into skill 2 and you get some cost back. Or maybe, like, you turn 1 skill 3 into, like, 2 skill 2s or something stupid. I doubt they do that. They haven't messed with actual, like, hand size yet. They might eventually, who knows, but I wouldn't bet on it. But yeah, I think that would be fun. Because there's plenty of units whose skill 2 can be a lot of fun. Imagine, like, Captain Ishmael with only skill 2s, right? It sounds very funny. Blunt week. Bottom fight. What was the bottom fight? I didn't see. I think there was Skin Profit, though. Which, certainly an option. I'll see if there's, which route has an event after it, I think, right? That'll probably be what makes me decide. Look at those idiots enjoying themselves. Where's your whimsy, Virgilius? You're such a hater sometimes, and it's not cool. As also, Skin Profit's not even, like, that worth fighting just for the ego gifts either, because it's, like, it's a tier 2 and a tier 1, right? Like, I mean, I guess we'll still get, like, the cost for doing a fight, so might be smart anyways. It's just whatever pathway works better, right? It's just, its ego gifts itself aren't particularly good fusion fodder even, because it doesn't have a tier 3. It's a tier 2 and a tier 1. Quite sad. This 2 times per turn, yeah. That'll work, cool. Rail down. You could do it like that. That might work. I'm actually not set. I'm not convinced it'll work, because there's like a little bit of antics sometimes, but it's good enough. I think there's a possibility Dawn, like, gets a... Oh. Okay, cool. Dawn gets her counter off. Not that it makes too big of a difference, because that guy would have been dead to like a skill 1, honestly, but, you know, still funnies, right? At the end of the day, that's what counts. It's just you 3 left? Okay. Envy teams are just a lot of fun. It's the only, like, Sin Affinity team that doesn't just feel like an extension of its respective status effect, right? Like, Pride teams are just Poise teams. Undeniably so, just because they're so closely tied together. But, like, Envy is the Sin Affinity of Charge. And it really does, you really don't play it like that anymore. I think, like, first, like, year or so of the game, like, there were definitely arguments you could make for that, because, like, obviously you had stuff like, you were running, like, Warp Dawn, Warp Ryoshu, Rabbit Heathcliff, like, Envy spam. That was, like, a pretty strong strategy early on, before a lot of those units kind of got power crept. It happens. No. Save that. We don't need to save that. Yeah, no, don't bother the Envy res here. Yeah, nowadays Envy is more close tied to this, which I suppose is like a bleed team, but bleed's main thing is lust. I do like how unique Envy res feels thanks to that. I think it'd be cool to get other like res type teams, but at the same time, like, I feel like it might be weird to a point. I don't know, I'm down for more team, like, building stuff that doesn't focus on one of the main 7 status effects, though. Whether that means, like, new status effects that get their own teams, or just, like, focusing on, like, damage types, or Sin Affinities instead of status effects. I don't know, it's cool stuff. Don't just pop that, that's fine, you can do that there, okay, that'll work, cool. Oh, and that's a perfect chainsaw loyalty. Envy damage up to both of the other middle IDs. That's what you like to see. That is a struggling... is it fine? It's 2 paralysis. It's probably fine. We'll see. Death. Okay, you're hitting Dawn. Is Sinclair... I assume that Sinclair... Oh, no, that's what Sinclair's countering. Well, Sinclair gets his counter off, Dawn gets her counter off. Murder. They're just all gone. Jeez. You've killed them. And we don't even have the middle specific ego gifts yet. Like, I mean, I say that, like, Sinclair is still getting a bunch of buffs from Bloody Mist, right? Because he's deployed first, he gets the big buffs. But still. God. Cool. We get an event here, something random. It's gonna be something burn, yeah, to you. I could fight you here. I guess I got the skill highest one now for... That's just skin profit, yeah. Skin profit, skin profit. What a skin profit floor this is. Merso skill change. Nah. Even if he doesn't have a skill 2, his ego is fairly solid, right? Let's roll over Blunt, actually. See what shows up, eh? Sinclair skill change. Not really too worried about Sinclair or Dawn, honestly. Faust skill change. We'll gladly take that. Show him the flask. Kind of, I think it's late for that now. We'll grab painkillers for safety, I think. Yeah, let's do some fusing. Because we've got some stuff we can definitely spare. Like, I honestly don't think we care about respite too much, do we? Not really, no. So we could do something like... Oh, we need another tier 3. Can you give me a tier 3 real quick? Phantom Pain, that'll work, cool. So, Sell Helterfly. Sell Devils. I think I bought that earlier, so that probably means I'm wasting money effectively, but that's how it goes. Super Shop Final Floor is fairly likely. Maybe we do some more selling and stuff just to make sure it happens, but I don't know how necessary that is. Yeah, we do this. Crushed Memory. Admittedly, still really good. Do we fuse it away, though? I think we do, honestly. We could make use of it, or we could ball. Book of Vengeance. There we go. That's what I like to see. Blunt-based tech skills gain clash power, and comms are to gain offensive level. The number of enemies who are using blunt-based attack skills this turn. Those blunt skills of all their base tech skills gain 2 blunt damage after turn start when using it. Also, I guess important to note that on this team, it's just the middle IDs because multi-crack is a slash skill one. When using a counter skill, gain percentage of max HP as shield. Middle IDs gain blunt power and defense power up. When using a counter, the above counter skill enhancement activates twice per encounter. So that's nice. And deals 4% more damage instead. Well, I think we can upgrade it too, right? We can enhance it? No, you can't. Not that one, no. Never mind. I'm getting mixed up, I think. I'm considering selling something just to upgrade, like, Ossipium. Because that would be funny. I'm fine. 70% Super Shop chance. I like those odds. We'll roll with those, I think. Probably good enough. Surely. Okay, time to actually fight Skin Prophet. Now that we've turned you down twice, we're forced to fight you this time. Now, this is unclashable, but if it targets well, we could still do funnies with it, theoretically, right? Yeah, like, we'd have Dawn. We could just have Dawn counter for the fun of it. There's no reason to. We'll just wait. I think that'll be fine. Telegram Mistfall. What are these guys, like, weakness and stuff? Like, Neutral Envy. Okay, that's good. Figured I'd make sure before I did anything too silly. Who needs the most help here of all the attacks? Really, none of them seem like they need that much help. Actually, we should probably split it up like this instead. And then just have, like, you two maybe get additional help. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. It's almost a big envy res, even if it's unintentional, which is funny. Do I make it a big envy res? There's actually not that big of a benefit to a big envy res on this turn, I don't think. So we'll just roll with what we've got. Get what you get and don't get upset, as they say. And because you're gonna, like, attack us one-sidedly a bunch, that means you're gonna be nice and marked up for next turn. You fool. You fool. You art a fool. That's 10 funny mark for you. Oh, for a second I thought she was attacking Skin Prophet, and I was like, huh? What? No. Merely an illusion. We'll see if this works in a decent time frame. Actually, we can't counter with you, darn. Well, that's fine. We'll live. You can clash that one. Can you clash anything? You can clash like one of the... Okay, cool, that'll work. Sure, send that. We don't stagger you too soon, I don't think. Unless the bleed stacks really fast, and I guess it might... That's like a 400 stagger. Cool, we get this off. Don't get Sinclair's off, unfortunately, because he was just a little too slow. We get Dawn's off, so that's a good start. And I don't think we'll be able to get another counter off this fight, yeah. What a creative decision. Shut up, Virgilius. We're doing what we can. No need to be such a hater. You're gonna bleed to death just in a single clash. Yeah. I saw it was gonna happen, so I was like, might as well just send it. Okay, cool, that's 4-4 Delva, so now it's time to head to Nocturnal Sweeping. I guess we get the... What is it? Was this the floor that had the 2 tier 4s just there? Twinkling Vestige, cool. Sure was. You know what? Thanks for those. We'll make the most of those. We'll fuse them away. Skill replacement cost down. Sure. Nocturnal sweeping. Enhance tattoos of the middle or a floor reward there. Sure. I actually feel like I've only seen the middle event on this floor once, despite all the runs I've done. It's very weird. Night Demons, this is the hat, isn't it? We'll take it, of course. Oh no, it's Hairstride. Right, no, the hat, you don't get the hat from event, do you? I don't think there's any events for the hat. That's right. Because there's the Hairstride event, there's the one that gives you both parts of the actual Haisho fusion, there's the middle one, and then there's the sweeper one. Yeah. The hat's the one EU gift I don't think you can get from any event on this floor. Give it a turn, yeah. You're struggling against the tough-looking stranger, Merso. We'll have you. Actually, we might end up just doing it anyways, then. Yeah, okay. If we're being forced to deal with that, then might as well send it fully. How much damage are these guys gonna do to us, even if we are countering? That's the question. Because if it's too much, then that'll be quite unfortunate. We do have the power of Hexnail on our side, Rodion Hexnail, to heal us up if need be. Because that is, NV-based healing. These guys resist blunt. Tragic stuff. 11 enemies, that's fine. Now this is a other skill turn, I want to say. You win those, I think. It says you don't, but I believe in you. Right. That's just the paralysis speaking. And when the paralysis is speaking, don't listen to it. Go for the bad clashes. Frankly, whenever you're going to lose a clash, just assume the game's lying to you and go for it anyways. I think that's the best way to play. Boink. Nice. Is it you? Which of you stole Big Brother's hair coupons? I do wonder. For killing you. Oh, there's one of the triax fixers here too. That's a funny bit. 5 of these guys and then 6 triaxes, or maybe not necessarily 6, some combo. Who knows? You do some counterage this turn, perhaps? You're struggling. Do we have you pop it? No, you actually can't make any counter usage. Oh, that's silly. That's fine, though. We'll live. Should be a pretty good turn overall. Big envy res means big, offense power up, or offense level up, thanks to the high res. Which means good clashing. And that's what you need sometimes. Sometimes you just want big clash number. Is the last of them? No, there's still one more enemy after these guys. That's fine. Okay, that'll work. You're struggling, that's fine. Just keep on countering. It's the strat. Thanks to the fact that, I haven't gotten a single skill change for any of the middle IDs, have I? I've only done skill changes for the other 3, I think. Just because that's pretty logical, I'd say. I think Merso's skill changes definitely could work, but like I said before, if he's ever, in need of contributing, his skill 2 is, his skill 2 is, a worse version of, his, Electric Screaming, effectively, right? Because that's all about NV power up, or NV damage up for allies. Thou art a fool. Exploded. Cool. And now just these 3 left. Alright. That works. That works. Alright. NV Gaming. Hopefully we do get the Super Shop here just so I can get even more skill changes. I want more skill 3s for Heath. I want more skill 2s for Faust and Rodion. It's just awesome. And I guess if I'm desperate, I'll take a skill change for one of the middle IDs, but, like, it doesn't matter too much. Maybe I should, like, try and get something, like, some healing ego gifts or something? Just so I'm not going to be as dead? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? Okay, we'll take the normal encounter. I think if it's Haisho or Piercers, right? So that would be ideal. I think they're blunt neutral, yeah. No, they're also blunt weak. What am I thinking of? Oh, it's the, I think it's Triacs that are blunt neutral and pierce resist, right? Something like that? I think so. I think there's a very weird... It's a very interesting, like, mid-chapter because, like, there's slash weak, pierce weak, and blunt weak enemies. Because slash weak with Haisho and, like, the random, like, grunts that show up, like, in the fights before it. Blunt weak with the middle IDs and pierce weak with the sweepers. It's quite interesting. I mean, maybe blunt resist, but, we don't care. We're killing you. Got him. You're gonna hit us a bunch. I'm not too concerned. Boink. You hit us a bunch and you're just gonna cause yourself a greater hassle than anything that actually benefits you, right? Thanks to the powers of all these marks of vengeance, all this vendetta mark you're building up. That was 250 damage there. Yeah, pretty dead. How is it 250 damage? Jeez. We love NV Gaming. The answer is Bloody Mist, to be blunt, but it's funny to pretend that I don't know the answer, I think. Do a bit of this. And write them all down. Give me a drink, bartender. Yeah, these guys are being, like, torn to shreds, into smithereens, into tiny little dust molecules. I assume the last of them are showing up now? Yes. Okay, cool. Just a little bit more, and then we've won. Don't think that's gonna end up going through, but, who knows, maybe someone else is gonna go for Dawn. No. Well, it's a thought that counts sometimes. I'm still running. I'm still sending it, right? Regardless of whether or not it'll work. Ooh, that's a Merc Dagger. Bit problematic, but at the same time, like, I think we're fine because of the fact that, we outskill them now, so they're not going to be able to one-side kill Mer. We'll just get, like, a group heal or something at the final shop, just to make sure we're topped off for sweepers, since we are missing HP on a bunch of people for some unknown reason. Who could guess? No one, that's who. Is that? Oh, just one left. How you doing, friend? We're not even getting bothered with the envy resistor. How you doing, pal, friend, compatriot, compadre, amigo, benefactor, other words that mean similar things. I'm sure I could come up with more, but my mind just blanked out, and frankly, I think that's enough. I think that I proved my point, right? Okay, cool. Shop time. What are we looking for? Homeward is not what we're looking for. I saw it for a second, I was like, ooh, no. Change loyalty, okay, cool. That's one of them. Now we need the other one. The, we need skill change, I'll take that. No super shop truly is tragic stuff. Is the other one even a blunt AO gift? I know it, like, showed up beforehand, but it might not even be blunt, right? Like, Limbus Wiki, Nocturnal Sweeping. Actually, no, if I just go to Ego Gifts, yeah. Let me see. The ego gift listage of ego giftage listage, as they say, words. It should be usually the wiki's updated fairly aptly, I'd say, right? If I scroll down here, tattoos in the middle. It's a blunt tier 2. Okay. We can fuse for that. We can fuse for a blunt tier 2, I think. Was there any blunt tier 2s there? No, okay. Just fuse for a blunt tier 2 and it should show up sooner or later. Also, I did notice no super shop. Tragic stuff, but we'll live. Okay. We don't need you at this point. I don't care for you that much. There you go, cool. And then, so, I don't actually think I've gotten this fusion gift before. We take the tattoos, we take the chains. Yeah, I haven't gotten it before. We get the middle Ouroboros. Everlasting Chains of Bond. With 2 or more middle identities, only counts identities on the field that encounter star. When hit all allies in the same faction, deal 5% more blunt damage, 15 per turn. Middle identities gain offense level and deal more blunt damage instead. Blunt skills gain base power, middle gain more base power and coin power. Target's vengeance. The middle IDs gain base power, coin power, and deal more damage instead. Middle IDs gain min speed +1 and max speed +1 for the encounter. Cool. A lot of stuff. Is it enhanceable? No. We've never had a fusion gift that's enhanceable, so I don't think there was really that much of a reason to check. Let's upgrade White Causivium as well while we're thinking about it. Alright, I got these and I didn't do anything with them. You want to fuse the blunt tier 4 rock now? If I do this, that's probably good enough, right? Yeah. Crush memory, cool. And I also wanted, what did I want? Oh, right, no, I wanted to bleed tier 4. I figured that would be nice, too. Pop this, pop, like, you in here. Gossipium, cool. And then we can probably sell some things we don't care for. Do I just get rid of... Let's just get rid of Elytra. I'm not actively using Poise. I was going to, but, like, eh. We can live without it, it would seem. This isn't even that good. I mean, the offense level and defense level loss is really good. Solid. It's solid. Yeah. We can just enhance white, and that's probably good enough. Okay, cool. This should be good. I forgot to heal. Well, that's fine. We'll pop, like, a Hex Nail turn 1 or something. Just make sure, you know. Make sure all is fine. Sweeper time. It do be nocturnal the way they be sweeping, as they say. Call me nocturnal the way I be sweeping. Bars. Do we start out worrying too much? If we have a skill 3, I think we use that. Yeah. I think that's probably just smart in general. Immediate Hex Nail, I don't know how important it is to do it immediately, but I do know some of our people could definitely use topping off, so I'd just rather pop one sooner rather than later. Actually, I need to actually look. I haven't been counting, like, how the skill changes. I know we've been getting a bunch of skill changes, so, like, I assume Rodion's out of skill 1s? I think that checks out, and Faust might be close. We've gotten, what, 6 skill change in general? Okay, I think we did 3 for Rodion, 2 for Faust, and 1 for Heath, I think, right? That's how the skill changes ended up going, I believe. They're attacking us a bit. Some damage on Mer. That's fine. Yeah, you don't have any skill 1s left. You've got 1 skill 1 left, and you have 2. Okay. Seems solid overall, I'd say. There's no reason to... Yeah, I don't think that's worthwhile. It's neutral, jeez. Oh, your Sandy's bad because of the Hex Nail. Yeah, alright. Well then, let's make this a not too envy-oriented turn then. We'll still snag our in that, but... Yeah. God. Please roll well. Okay, cool. There's your Sandy back. That's the issue with Hex Nail. We don't really want our Sandy being bad, because then we'll lose a clash, and that's not cool. But yeah, since we got a... I think alternating between envy turns and non-envy turns will probably end up working really well. Because we stack a bunch of bleed on the envy turn, and then we just kind of let them bleed to death, right? That's kind of why I didn't feel the need to do a bunch of countering stuff, because I saw that, like, the one that Dawn would have countered, like, would die to bleed with a single clash. I think also these guys aren't super worth envying, right? Except for not, jeez. Little overkill, I'd say. It's funny, though, so we roll with it. Heathcliff's really nice. Even if we don't have any poise going on here, Heathcliff could still theoretically build it up, because we can get his poise potency up pretty well with his skill 2 against a target that has a lot of bleed, which is most targets in this situation at hand. Alright, cool. Second wave time. HP's looking fine overall. Muriso's fairly low. Who do we have as the first backup unit? I don't know. You're kind of low too. We'll just make sure we only clash the ones that aren't like, or we only count the ones that aren't like super insta-death, right? Something like that probably would be smart. Like, that's fine. It's mainly like the like never counter a knight in the back streets, right? I think that should be the play, right? Because we wanted to make sure we break that unbreakable coin at least. We pop this onto you? I think so. Get it going, right? Is it on use for this one? I think it is, right? After attack. Okay. Figured I'd check. We don't really need full envy res, but I think it's funny this way, so we'll send it anyways. Few tails, interesting. Envy turn, then like some filler turns, prepare, and just get like another good envy turn at the start of the third wave. Dance after me. Heal up my friends who are currently like being swept alive thanks to their tendency to get hit a lot. I like how you could still hear those attack sounds in the background for a second there. Very silly. What's so just about this vengeance, eh? Okay, still 6 left. Pseudo envy turn, maybe. Yeah, I think that'll work out well. If we do something like this. Okay, yeah, cool. I like that. We'll just pop that. Okay, cool. That looks good enough. Issue, I guess, is the enemies are dying too fast for us to actually be able to get any Book of Vengeance on Sinclair. I think you got some there. I think. But, like, I mean, that's also the issue in normal fights, right? Like, in focus encounters, you can actually choose your target, you can actually get the Book of Vengeance onto Sinclair. But in fights like this, you just kind of have to hope that it turns out well, right? The targeting ends up in your favor for that purpose. Also, Rodion's high, blood funny. So if she pops a skill 3, it would be the funny mass attack 1. Could be something to consider next turn, or whenever you get a skill 3, I suppose, which isn't anytime soon. It might end up just straight up not happening this fight, eh? We'll just one-side you to death. Bottom row time. Alright, cool. Final wave. This is where we go all out. Okay, 2 Sever Knots. 2 of these. Pop a Electric Screaming into that. We do 1 of these, I think, because like I said, I don't think I want to risk countering Knight in the back streets. Funny as it would be probably problematic. I really like Faust's charge. Look at how she's at 10 charge, wowie. Okay. Electric Screaming gives the enemy buff to everything afterwards. Actually, does that work for Dawn counter? I guess it does work for Dawn's counter, despite it being on the leftmost because of how countering messes with the speed and uses enemy speed instead of your own. It means Dawn should get the envy power up for her counters, huh? That's funny. I didn't think about that when I was using it, but I guess it works out fairly well. This guy's Knight in the backstreets. Oh, he's just dead. Never mind. Do we get any counters off this turn, actually? Or have we killed everything too fast? We might have killed everything too fast. Okay, well... These guys are slow as well, so yeah, they're not going to do anything, I don't think. We'll try double countering with both of you, just in case it ends up working, but like... I think it's safe to say we're just gonna kill all of them. Oh, we got a counter with Sinclair. That's good. Oh, that's paralysis. That is mean. Still end up being a 20, even if 2 of those coins were paralyzed, which is very silly. Oh, stagger for Heath. That's fine. I think, yeah, you're still very dead to Faust. Oh, you're still alive, though. I think you know what this means. There's only one way to end things. Sinclair, do the thing. Write them all down. And there we go. And just like that, we've survived the night in the back streets. This nocturnal sweeping has been bested. Survived. Cool. And it's gonna ask if we're gonna keep on going, and the answer is no. You did 40% of the damage. And Tortoise Bolus is the reward for a job well done. How wholesome. Yeah, he's fun. Middle is fun in general, and he seems like just, well, another fun middle ID, right? It's forward event currency. Am I close to being done with the event grind? I might be. Is that forward gonna be enough? Or I think I'm like one more run away now, I think? Something like that. Bunch of levels. How delightful. 860, cool. Bunch of boxes, always good. Oh, yes, right. What was I thinking? Oh, yes. The event currency. Wanted to take a peek. Still 4. Okay, so we're not done yet. Oh, I see. Just have the thread left now. Which will be like another run. Yeah, okay. Cool. So that means I'm almost done. I will be done once I do the hard run, so I've done enough grinding for that sort of stuff. Which means I won't have to keep you guys there forever. It's funny how they'd all last until the same time, since these being 4 weeks while this guy's a 2-weeker. I like the rest bonus maintenance thingy. It's just very nice. But yeah, that's Middle Sinclair. We love Werning out. He's a lot of fun. It's more middle, right? Any unit that's like... Envy Res is just so much fun to use because you can just keep on doing it, and it works fairly well, especially with all the Aegis we're getting that like are synergizing with middle stuff. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!